This week's fight card prediction. We got UFC Seattle Song Yadong versus Henry Cejudo. And let's get straight into the picks. First up on the card, we got Modestas Bukauskas versus Rafael Sakata. I'm going to be picking Bukauskas by decision in this one. Looking at their last fight, Sakata, he got TKO'd by Ibo Aslan, who's also fighting on this card. I like the way Bukauskas strikes. He can load up and end up out of position sometimes, but I lean him to have more power, and he's more well-rounded. Wrestling, jiu-jitsu, striking. So I'm gonna lean him. Next up, we got Nursultan Ruziboyev versus Eric Makaniko. I'm going to be picking Ruziboyev in this one. I like the way he strikes. He's got a huge height advantage in this one. He's moving up to 85, so hopefully he'll be able to. He won't gas out like he did against Buckley. His right hand, the right cross, right down the middle is going to cause Makaniko a lot of trouble. I was watching some of his fights, and his head, he doesn't really move his head a lot. He's a solid. He's got solid wrestling. The striking is where I think the issue is going to come in for him in this fight. So I'm going to be leaning Ruziboyev, possibly TKO as well. Next up, we got Nikolai Veretennikov versus Austin Vanderford. I think this fight is kind of a coin flip, but I'm going to lean Vanderford. He's got some high level of competition outside of the UFC. He had a fight with Gegard Mousasi. He carries some good power in his hands. This is also a catchweight bout, so that's something to think about. They won't be cutting as much weight. Veretennikov, he's pretty dangerous, but I think the wrestling and the power that Vanderford carries in his hands should get him a win in this one. But yeah, I think it's a 50-50 fight, honestly. But I'll lean Vanderford. Next up, we got Javid Basharat versus Ricky Simon. I'm picking Javid on the scorecards. I think he's going to outpoint him, outstrike him. He's got solid takedown defense. Ricky, he's a solid. I guess we could call him a UFC vet now. He's pressure wrestling. He likes to get into the clinch, but I think Javid's going to stay on the pressure, lead the dance pretty much, and pick him apart from the outside. Next up, we got Mansour Abdul Malik versus Nick Klein. The pick is it's an easy one, guys. Mansour Abdul Malik, ground and pound, TKO. That is the official call. This is, a prospect that they're looking to bring up. Middleweight division could use some new blood. The rankings are pretty intense right now, but I think this is definitely a guy that they're trying to back. His fight on Dana White Contender Series was pretty impressive, and I think he's going to go ahead and repeat the same thing. So look for him, ground and pound. Maybe I think he gets it done within 2 rounds, honestly. Next up in the featherweight division, we got Andre Touchy-Fili versus Marquisio Costa. I'm going to be picking Costa. I think I'm going to go Costa by sub in this one. He's slightly better striker. He's better wrestling. But I think Costa has the better jiu-jitsu. And I think if Fili's going to wrestle in this fight, Costa is very dangerous off his back, and that's something that he's going to have to look out for. I think the reach, so Fili has a 3-inch reach advantage. Definitely going to be using his jab a lot. But if they go to the ground, I think Costa can find a way to finish him. He's always looking for a finish. That's one thing I like about him, too. So, yeah, I'm going to be leaning Costa by submission. Next up, in the light heavyweight division, we got Ion Cutelaba versus Ibo Aslan. I'm going to be picking Ibo TKO as well in this one. I think they're pretty much like the same type of fighter. It's just blitz across the octagon and just start swinging. Cutelaba, I question his IQ sometimes, and I think Ibo's just honestly gonna outdog him. I see him putting him up against the cage like he did Sakata, and just going to town, man. He's got a 2.5-inch or 2-inch reach advantage. I think Ibo is I think he carries more power too, so I'm gonna pick Ibo by TKO. I don't think this is going to the 3rd round either. So Ibo second round KO. That's what I'm gonna pick. Next up, we got another light heavyweight fight. We got Alonzo Menifield versus Julius Walker. I am picking Julius by finish in this one. Alonzo is another guy I question his IQ sometimes. Um, Man, I'm trying to remember who it was that he was fighting, but I think it was Oberg, if I'm not mistaken. He just blitzed him and got knocked out. He got knocked out in like his last two fights. Julius, he's better all around. He's got sneaky jiu-jitsu, and I think he's going to finish Alonzo Menifield. This might boost him. I think if I'm not mistaken, Alonzo's ranked, but if he's not, he's definitely going to get a ranked opponent after this one. Next up, we got Gene Silva versus Melsik Bagdasaryan. Fighting nerds, guys. The fighting nerds. Gene Silva. So Melsik is a very good fighter. I don't know if Gene gets the finish. I would like for him to get the finish. I don't know if he does, though. So maybe Gene. If I had to pick a method, it would probably be TKO or decision. I would probably bet that. He's more aggressive, better striker. His takedown defense is pretty good. Melsik, he's solid all around, man. But I think the fighting nerds, I've just been enjoying everything that they're doing. They got Rufy, Kaio, Gene. They're all on the come up, man. And I definitely like Gene in this fight. Next up, we got Rob Font versus Gene Matsumoto. I think Gene gets it done, man. Father Time has not been beaten yet. I know Rob put Kyler Phillips away last time, but I don't think Kyler Phillips is the striker that Gene is. Rob does have a height advantage. He does have a reach advantage. That jab is always nasty, but I like what I've seen from Gene. I know he had a close fight with Katona, but they were basically like the same type of fighter. Katona is short. I think they were both around the same height, same reach. It was like it was a coin flip fight. But I think Gene, he's more powerful. His jiu-jitsu is pretty good. And I don't see Rob wrestling him. So it'll probably, for most of the fight, it'll probably be on the feet. Rob is going to have to duplicate, exactly what he did against Kyler. I don't know if he's going to do that back to back. This is definitely a tough fight for both of them, honestly. This is a test to see if Gene is actually, capable of stepping up to the next level. But I do think this is the fight that, it's time for him to move on. I think, I go Gene by decision in this one. All right, in the co-main event, we got Brendan Allen versus Anthony Hernandez. I am picking Fluffy. I can see him out-dogging Brendan Allen. Honestly, I don't think he finishes him. This is a pretty good fight. This could be a main event. Fight night in the Apex or something. But this is definitely a good fight. I'm not trying to overhype his win against Michel Pereira last time. Because Pereira's just, first round and out. I think he gassed in like the first 4 minutes, honestly. But Allen's last fight against Imavov, it was nasty to watch, man. I bet on him, lost. I didn't think he was going to win, but I thought he would put up a better effort than what he did. He was just falling on Imavov, trying to take him down, and it was nasty to watch, man. I think Fluffy is going to outdog him. He's going to keep pressure wrestling him. He's that first round is going to be, the test for him. If Brendan could come out, put some, work the body a little bit, work his jab, see if he can tire him. But as we've all seen, Fluffy doesn't get tired, man. I have to go with the dog in this one. So I'm going with Fluffy on the scorecards. In the main event, we got Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. I'm picking Song to finish Cejudo. I don't think after Cejudo's retirement he looked any different, honestly. He came back against Aljo. Everyone says it was a close fight, but I had Aljo 3-2 clear. It wasn't really that debatable. Um, then you got dog walked by Marab. You know, Marab's a champ now. Different type of dude, man. His gas thing is crazy, but it's not that like Song is a new fighter, but I don't think Henry has changed his game plan to match where MMA is today. I think Song is better on the feet. He's got good takedown defense, and I know he had a close fight with Jan. Jan won clearly, not clearly, but it was a close fight. But I don't think Henry would have beat Peter Yan, if you get what I'm trying to say. I definitely think Peter Yan would have whooped Henry's ass. So I'm picking Song. He's got the power. He's got the striking. Takedown defense keeps getting better. And I think it's time for Cejudo to retire again. Let me know what you guys think about the picks in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe. Boost the algorithm for me. And I'll be sure to do a review on my picks right after the card is done. Stay tuned, and I'll have more content coming soon.